Hello everyone, and welcome to the final match of Round 2 for the Anime Villainous Tournament Arc of 2023. As always, I'm Chaos in the Sky, and today we'll be seeing a match between Phalkion and Lark, two members of our very own QA team. Both of these players have put a lot of time into Anime Villainous, so we're sure to have some great games from them. Let's get to it. And so here we are with the first game of Round 2 between Phalk and Lark has won the dice roll. I was going to say the coin flip, basically a coin flip, but actually a dice roll. Lark has won, so he will be our starting player, which means he gets to ban first as well as go first. He is pulling out his ban, I believe. He's double checking to make sure that he knows how the ban works. He's going to be banning Laxus. We saw Phalk use Laxus pretty well in round 1, so Lark does not want to see him pull out Laxus here in this first game at least. And we're going to see Phalk banning Orochimaru. I don't know how much Lark is good specifically at Orochimaru or not, but these two guys have played a ton together. They're both on the QA team. They know each other very well. They're close friends. Pretty presumptuous of me to say, but I'm pretty sure that they're close friends. And Phalk probably knows more about if Lark is really good with specifically Orochimaru or not than I do. And now we're seeing them select their characters for the blind pick. Got a little hasty in pulling out the selector, but then realized, hey, we got to use Swallet's nifty card backs because they are very pretty and we love to see them. So here we go. Oh, Phalk is double checking to make sure he's good on it. Oh, he's taking out what was banned. That's fair. So let's see. We're going to have for this first game, Light versus Merrick. Phalk is going to play Merrick. I'm actually super excited about that. Light is an interesting one against Merrick. I feel like Merrick can keep up decent fate pressure if he really wants to. His main issue is being able to progress his objective while keeping his top fate uncovered, I want to say. Which, I might be wrong on that statement because, you know, these guys would know better than me, of course. But from my experience of playing as Merrick, I feel like that might be the case. And Light's biggest issue typically is opponents that are really good at keeping fate pressure, because they prevent Light from being able to get off his patient plottings and other such things. So I'm very interested to see how this is going to go for the two of them. I'm not sure what we're waiting on. Quick little patented Chaos in the Sky jump cut there. We are ready to go now. We were having some connection issues, but it has been resolved, and the game is on. We're going to be seeing Lark as Light versus Phalk as Merrick. These are two of our QA members. I'm very excited to see how this game goes. These two close friends have played against each other a lot, balancing these characters in the first place. We're going to see the Heart of the Cards played over Yugi here, which has happened in this tournament already. Not sure that I would necessarily make that play, but I have been told by QA that it's not a bad play to make, and I trust them on that, even if I myself might have just played Yugi there. We're going to see an Innocent Facade from Merrick, and he did not get the tournament bracket, and he cannot use that Tomb Keeper's Destiny to get Innocent Facade, unfortunately, because Innocent Facade is not in the discard pile until after Tomb Keepers is resolved. We're going to see him discard Arcana and then hit a Fate action for Mai. Not going to play Mai to set his Fate deck. He's just going to let it ride. And then we're back over to Lark. That was quite unfortunate for Phalk. Did not hit a Shizu, Kaiba, or any of the 3 tournament brackets on those 3 Fate card plays between the 2 from Innocent Facade and the 1 from Rare Hunter. Light is going to go over to Task Force HQ, throw down a Patient Plotting, and then of course he wants to Fate in return to probably get a tournament bracket or a Shizu here. I imagine he's probably going to tournament bracket out Yugi, and indeed he is covering up that double play at Domino City. Merrick hates not being able to play 2 cards. That is a really rough one for him. I imagine Phalk is probably going to Fate in retaliation, but first he's going to go for an Innocent Facade. He really should have fated before doing that, but he got Kaiba, so it's fine. That would have been very unfortunate if he had to play a Shizu to his top fate there. But he got Kaiba, and he's playing him to Domino City, which is interesting. We're going to see Imprisoned and Mellow come out. 2 very strong heroes here. This is going to trigger Paranoid Prep for Lark, so he's going to get to discard as many cards from his hand as he wants. Draw that many. Imprisoned, very strong challenge. Will stop Patient Plotting from doing anything. Mellow, very strong ally. Could be thrown out there to block Task Force HQ. Oh, interesting. Phalk is going to let Lark get the first name token via Patient Plotting, and just focus on blocking that top fate instead, probably because he wants to ensure that he can get, or at least try his best at least, to get his hands on a tournament bracket on a Shizu before Lark can fate. We're going to see Lark gain 2 at Light's apartment and move over Mellow. I'm going to be talking real fast during this video in case that wasn't obvious, because these guys are really good at the game and they play fast. We're going to see a social manip on Mellow to get L's name. That's 2 names for Lark already. Then we're going to see strings played by Falk, and he's actually not going to gain power strings. He's going to use another play action for Rare Hunter, which will net him 2 power. Very, very strong. Was probably hoping for tournament bracket there the most, but unfortunately did not get it. We're going to see Watari come out. Complications does not even have a target. Oh, that is a misclick and a half by Falk. I think he accidentally hit G and put all the cards back in. So we're going to see him pull back out Mellow, Imprisoned, and Complications was discarded, I believe. And Watari was played to Yellow Box Warehouse. I hope that they realize that there's supposed to be a complication on Imprisoned there. That complication should be in the discard pile, if I'm not mistaken. There we go. They got it. They got it. Classic TTS small slip there. Accidentally hit the G key, I assume, and that just put all the cards in together or something similar. And then he should be pulling out L to put L on top of the Fate deck, which I believe he has done. Also, we stopped the timer because they're making sure this is all on the up and up. I think they're just talking with one another and double-checking, like, this is correct, right? It was Imprisoned in Complications in the discard, and then Mellow and Watari played. I'm surprised they didn't just hit the rewind time button for that one, but I'm 99.9% sure that this is all correct, and they have set it up properly. I really have no idea what they're doing right here, though. That should be L on top, I think. Unless Falk chose not to use Watari's effect, because it is a May. Another patented Chaos in the Sky jump cut. You see L being put on top of the deck there. When Falk had that little misclick, it caused a little glitch that actually deleted L, so we had to spawn back in the Fate deck and get that sorted out. But we are all good to go now. We're back in it. And, oh, I think Butter disconnected and reconnected and needs me to set him to black really quickly. Whoop, there we go. We're going to see Lark going over to Task Force to use his bottom Fate, and he's choosing to multi-Fate with Heart of the Cards. He did not get a tournament bracket, so this should be a guaranteed tournament bracket unless I've miscounted. We are going to see Bakura played to Pharaoh's Tomb to block up that top Fate, and then Lark is going to take a desperate gambit. He's going to get Matsuda's name and gain 2, and then L gets to be played. As we know, L was the one put on top, so Lark knew that he was getting L there, and Falk will just toss L onto Yellow Box Warehouse. Following that, we're going to see Last Resort played, and we've lost connection to Butter King again, but I assume Weird Mouse is just going to be handling the... Or maybe not, we're going to get Butter back in. Another patented jump cut by your boy. Patented? I think I'm saying that weird. But anyways, we're back. Butter, we found out, was on the wrong Wi-Fi, which was the problem. So it's been resolved, so shouldn't be an issue any longer. We should be good. We're going to see Falk, I forgot his name for a moment, going over to Domino City to gain 3 and then play a Rare Hunter, and he did not get... Is this a tournament bracket? I don't remember if I counted right. If it is a tournament bracket, he's probably going to play Joey here to get it, and indeed it is. It is the tournament bracket, so you'll be able to play a Shizu to his location. So he's playing with the stacked Domino City. That's what he's doing for this entire game. A Shizu, Joey, Kaiba, Yugi, everyone is there. It's the start of the arc. Everyone's hanging out. For some reason, Bakura's at the Pharaoh's Tomb. That doesn't make any sense. He's going to have to fix that. But that is Ra and Obelisk both out, and Strings is set up there to potentially do a defeat soon. We're going to see Lark go over to Yagami Residence, gain 3. He's going to play out Misinformation, and then also hit another Desperate Gambit, which is going to let Falk Alias right back in one of those names. Whose name shall it be? None of these names can kill any of these current heroes. Falk is checking to see if any other heroes have passed that he knows he doesn't need to protect, but I believe none of these heroes have come by yet. So they are all in danger, and in the end, he's going to choose Aizawa to put in there, and that will be the end of Lark's turn. So we're back over... Ooh, a little bit of jump lag there. We're back over to Falk. He's going to Kaiba Craft. Is he going to be playing a Shadow game? Indeed, he is. He's going to throw it on Kaiba first. Kaiba definitely needs to go first because he is weakening all allies at this location that Falk really needs to deal with. We're going to see Ide on the Fate go over to Task Force HQ, just start blocking up all of Light's locations. He does have Ide's name, but he does not have a safe place to use it right now unless he has a card that can move a hero out of whatever location he goes to, which could be from a social manip, could be by using Chief Yagami at Light's apartment if he happens to have him. we going to see another social manip here? Oh, God of the New World for the social manip that he used earlier, I believe, which will cost him 2 to pull out. Yes, indeed. He'll get a name from Ide, so he's back up to 4 names, halfway on his objective, but already social manip and a God of the New World have passed, which are usually the most surefire way to get names in my experience. We're going to see 2 Tomb Keepers and an anti-rule here. He could take away that 2 power, or he could take a peek at Falk's hand, and he's going to choose to take away the 2 power and leave Falk very low on power indeed. Falk could definitely go to dual tower, gain power, and then potentially play someone like Arcana to be able to take out Kaiba this turn, potentially. Could also go to Domino City, maybe just to gain power. He might even have Millennium Ring in his hand. Probably doesn't, because I feel like that's a move he would have already done if he had it. He is going to go to dual tower and gain 2. What is he going to do with this 2 power, though? That is the question. He's going to give a false god card to Strings. So Strings is at 4 words. Kaiba is at 4. He's going to lose that 1 last power with this false god card being triggered here because it makes you lose 1 power when it is used for the Vanquish, or when it's discarded, whatever the wording for that is. And that will see 1 god card taken by Falk. He has Obelisk. Ra is in play, and Ishizu is historically the easiest one to defeat. But he's still got to beat Yugi and then get Yugi back out. We're going to see a Battle of Wits played by Lark. He's going to adjust his plan to take Last Resort and Battle of Wits to get his 5th name token. He is rushing hard to get his objective done, which is probably the right call because Merrick is loaded on heroes right now. And he got Mello's name, which means he gets to kill Mello at the end of his turn, which is very strong. He's going to discard his Shinigami Eye first and then kill Mello with his ability. And then we're back to Falk, who definitely wants to get another Fate on here. We're going to see him play a Rare Hunter, probably going to vanquish Bakura here, but he's going to go for his Fate first. Nier and Alias could put back another name or could cover up more territory and do a lot of switching around. He could potentially do a full Fate lock on Light here by moving Light and Ide, which wouldn't be a bad call. Or is he choosing not to use Nier? Well, he's considering it. He's thinking about it. Are we going to see Ide and Light swap? That would be my assumption with my experience. That is what's going to happen, so that's going to stop Lark from being able to Fate Falk on his turn. Falk will gain and spin 1 on a Rare Hunter, and then he gets an anti-rule for 2 power back. Very useful, very good. And then he is going to defeat Bakura using all 3 of those Rare Hunters to open up his top Fate. He knows he's got to get some more Fate pressure going on Light with only 3 name tokens to go, and another social manip somewhere in Light's hand or deck. So that's basically a guaranteed 6th name token. Doesn't have to do anything fancy to pull it off. Lark is he's actually considering pretty hard here, thinking about how he wants to take this turn. In the end, he's going to go to Yagami Residence and throw out a Paranoid Prep and then just end his turn with that 9 power. Falk is going to go right over to Pharaoh's Tomb, newly cleaned off. Right now, Falk really wants to get probably another Shadow game on Ishizu, as well as some allies out to deal with Ishizu in general. That 1 Rare Hunter is not going to cut it. We're going to see him discard a lot of cards, which is going to trigger Misinfo, and then Lark is choosing to move Watari over to Yagami Residence. And then Falk is going to Fate, which will trigger Paranoid Prep. So now Lark will discard all the cards that he does not want and then draw that many, and it looks like it was just Kira Cult. Matsuda or Accusation, we could see Matsuda played here just to once again Fate Lock Lark, put him back on Task Force HQ. I'm not sure what else he would do. He could replay Nier. Nier is the only one that would really be worth it, but as expected, it's going to be Matsuda moving to Task Force HQ, as I figured he would, which is again going to protect him from Fate for another turn. He's going to throw out a trap card in case Lark finds a way on his turn to defeat a hero and wants to take advantage of it. That's going to very much what's the word I'm thinking of? Disincentivize? The opposite of incentivize? Unincentivize? I should have looked at a dictionary before this game, man. That's going to make it where Lark does not want to defeat heroes unless he's going for his win, really, because he doesn't want to give Merrick any help that he can afford. Lark is going to play Chief Yagami and move him. Very good move, I would say. And then he gets to do his move hero, and he's going to not move a hero. He's just going to use his ability to kill Nier, which is going to trigger Trap card. And then Trap card is going to play Tournament Bracket. So that could be a Bakura thrown to Pharaoh's Tomb right there, which is really good for Falk, actually. He can go straight to Dual Tower and move over Bakura, and then if he has the Shadow Game, throw it on Ishizu and get her out of there. Or play another ally to help Bakura defeat Yugi or Joey, potentially. Or he could actually beat Joey using Rare Hunter and Bakura. Oh, he's just not even going to worry about it? He's not going to worry about a Shadow Game? He's just going to go for it? Or is he second guessing? Yeah, he's decided, nah, I'm going to Shadow Game a Shizu. I think that's the right call. So we're going to see a Shizu get Shadow Gamed in exchange for Bakura's life. And then that takes Ra. So now Merrick, he has 3 power, 11 cards left in his deck here. We have not seen Odeon, Millennium Ring, or Millennium Rod. We could see him playing out those Millennium items very soon. I wonder if maybe he was debating that Shadow Game because he had a Millennium item in hand that he was considering playing instead. Lark is sick of not having been able to Fate. He's going to his Fate location. He's going to make use of it finally. He can also kill Matsuda at the end of his turn, or Ide. He has both of their names, and both of those heroes are in play, so would not be surprised if we see that happening. Cannot kill Watari. Could kill L, but probably wouldn't work out that great for him at the moment, given that L could potentially be replayed by an Accusation. I'm not sure. I think one of these last cards is Accusation. I can't remember. I haven't been paying close enough attention to Light's Fate deck. We're going to see him play a Misinfo, get another scheme out there, as Light is wont to do. And then spending 3 on Ryuk, and he's going to move Ryuk straight to Chief Yagami, spend 1 to throw a Shinigami Eye on him. He just needs to get those last 3 names, and I do believe we still have a Social Manip coming up that he will be able to get soon. We're going to see the Heart of the Cards Triple Fate. It'll be 2 Tournament Brackets and Taya, so that's probably going to be Bakura replayed, if I had to guess. No, he's actually going to play Taya because he cares more about blocking the top Fate than anything else. Also, defeating Taya here would be very annoying for Merrick because it would allow Lark to replay Bakura. We're going to see Falk go to Kaibacraft. He's going to play Odeon for 3 and then add Millennium Rod to his hand. Odeon and a Rare Hunter is plenty enough to defeat Yugi. And also, we could see Falk go to Domino City next turn to gain 3 and spend 4 on getting that Rod out, which will put him at 3 strength. If he gets the Rod and the Ring out, he'll be able to clash with everyone that is not Yugi, which is when he's at his strongest. We're going to see Aizawa played, and with Aizawa's effect, he's going to move Watari over to Yellow Box, just not wanting Light to be able to use that top Fate. Very important for Merrick that his Fate deck is as untouched as possible. This is an intense game. This is going to come down to the wire. It's really going to come down to, I feel like, if Falk can both defeat and replay Yugi faster than Lark can get his hands on these last 3 name tokens. Lark is going to throw out a Patient Plotting, and as we can see, Falk is Fate locked, so that is going to be a guaranteed, unless I'm forgetting something, that is going to be a guaranteed name token. That'll be the 6th one, and he still has that Social Manip coming up. And then Falk is going to go gain 3 to have 4 total and spend 4 to get Millennium Rod. He's got to get that 3rd strength and get that Millennium item out before a Tomb Keepers could hit him. Lark is going to get Mogi. He's going back to Task Force to get the Shinigami Eyes. Ooh. He's very well set up to get that 8th name token. He just needs Social Manip, which, unless I miss something, a Social Manip should be in his hand or in these last 5 cards if he can just get his hands on them. And we're going to see Rem played, debating if he wants to use Rem for a kill there, and deciding in the end that he's not going to play Rem, going to hold on to Rem actually to try and deal with L at a later date. He will get to kill Aizawa, or not Aizawa, he doesn't have Aizawa's name, Watari, I mean. Aizawa is the one name he's missing, actually. He'll get to kill Watari at the end of his turn. He's going to play Mikami, and then with Mikami's effect, he gets to play that Shinigami Eye for free, so he can very easily get his last name token on his turn. Oh, he's going to double up on name token, or on Shinigami Eyes. Very interesting. I mean, it's free. Why not? Good to have it for when a name token gets shuffled back in, such as L's when used and whatnot. Then we're going to see the Triple Fate. Probably going to see Mai played here, if I had to guess. It's definitely going to be Mai, because Anti-Rule and Tournament Bracket do nothing. So we're going to see Mai played to Kaibacraft 3. Very interesting. Falk can go to Kaibacraft, Fate, and clash with Mai. The question is if he even has a card to really play on top of that. Falk has done very well here, I would say, with his Merrick game, but I think he's gonna end up being just a step behind Lark's Light time-wise, since Lark is most likely hitting Showdown at the end of his turn. If he has Social Manip in his hand, it's guaranteed, because he can just go to Light's apartment to do it. If Falk doesn't Fate him, we are seeing Lark murder Watari with his ability as well. Falk is going to discard Kaiba. That is not where Kaiba goes. Classic Lark move. Why is he discarding a Shizu as well? Oh, Sadistic Glee on a Shizu. That makes sense. So he's going to gain 3 there. Is he then going to use the Rod to take control of Taya to open up that top Fate, maybe? We're going to see him Fate. He's doing a full Fate, not a whatchamacallit Fate for Mogi, but it looks like Mogi is probably going to be played here. Not sure what character, if any, he's going to move to an adjacent location here. Light is already exactly where he wants him to be. He's going to move Chief Yagami over to Yagami Residence as well. Very interesting. And then will he be using Millennium Rod and or clashing with Mai? He will clash with Mai. We're going to see Lark go over to Yagami Residence, gain 3 in Social Manip. Yep, he had that last Social Manip. That is going to be showdown for him. He's not going to be able to kill a hero this turn, but that's not really going to hurt him all that much. He's only got 3 heroes to deal with. We're probably going to see, yeah, Falk paying 2 to mind control Taya, and then he gains 1, because he really needs to hit Light with some back-to-back fates right now. And indeed he will. He'll go with an alias and a complications. He's going to put L's name back in to make dealing with L that much harder. Probably wanted to see a hero there. Seeing the alias is a little rough because he wasn't able to block up Task Force, which means Lark can go there and use his ability to kill Aizawa or Mogi as well as Fate, which is very rough. We're going to see disposable pawns to get rid of the Rare Hunter and then play out strings, probably? Strings or maybe Arcana. Oh, Loomis, actually. Okay, so he probably has Umbra in his hand. Or knows Umbra is coming up, I imagine. So he wants the big boost on them. That'll cost him 1 for playing Loomis. And then he's going to discard a lot of cards out of his hand because he needs whatever is left here. That will trigger Misinfo, which is going to give Lark a lot of control over his board state. He can move L and open up his top fate. He could move one of the other heroes to a more advantageous location if he doesn't like where they are right now. I imagine he'll probably be using his kill on his turn with his ability, assuming that there's no hero wherever he moves to, which will probably be his top fate now, to get rid of Mogi so he can use the Shinigami Eyes to get back his name token. And that will be the end of Falk's turn. We're back over to Lark. Lark, I would say, is in the stronger position right now, mainly because Merrick has not replayed Yugi yet and has not even defeated Yugi. Falk really needs to, he needs to be able to defeat Yugi and replay Yugi basically in the same breath. Otherwise, he's going to be in a rough spot. We're going to see Rem come out and moved over to kill L. L's name token isn't out, so not really a big loss there. The only problem is if Falk can get an accusation to replay L before Lark can get that name token. He's going to kill Mogi at the end of his turn, it looks like. He's gonna Fate first, of course. That makes sense. Nope, not 3 this time. Not there. Nope, Heart of the Cards is gone. Hard to get out of that headspace. He's gonna get a Tomb Keeper and a tournament bracket. Probably gonna tournament bracket back literally anyone to cover that top fate because unfortunately Merrick is at his top fate right now. That is less than ideal for Falk. Is gonna be Mai or Bakura, I think, are both in there. Oh, Kaiba, that's right. He discarded all of them, so Kaiba's gonna come back, take back Obelisk. I think that Falk had to take a bit of a Hail Mary with discarding Kaiba and Ishizu when he did, and getting the tournament bracket there for Lark is probably going to be the deciding factor of the game. Merrick is back down to just 2 strength, and he has to defeat Obelisk again. We're going to see Mello block that top fate. Makes a lot of sense. Or actually Watari. It's very possible that if he uses Watari here, since Kaiba is fate locking him, that Falk will not be able to replay L before Lark can win, so I think that would probably be the wrong play. He's having a really hard time. He's probably deciding if he wants to block the top fate or if he wants to nuke Mikami here in hopes of getting to an accusation for L to keep L alive a little bit longer and then get to an accusation potentially. I'm not sure what is happening. I think Falk is counting the cards in the discard pile to see if Lark can get L's name on his turn or not. So, or no, maybe he's checking the deletes. I'm not sure. Falk is counting something to figure out how he wants to take this fate. This is why the QA players are a step above your average competition. Falk is, I don't know what he's doing because I'm not good enough, but Falk is taking note of Lark's discard pile to figure out what this one card is, and probably to figure out what the 4 cards in Lark's hand are as well, to see if it is better to play Mello or Watari here. I imagine that's what's happening. That's my assumption, at least. So he is trying to figure that out at the moment. And he might even be chatting with Lark as he does it. Or Butter or Weird Mouse, I don't know. They're all on the team. They're all QA guys. They know each other really well. Very affable. They might be, like, mentioning something here and there. I have no idea. I hope they're not just having a casual conversation while I'm recording all by my lonesome. That'd be so cruel. But But I definitely think what's happening here is that Falk is trying to figure out, like, what do I need to do here based on what Lark has in his hand or what that one card is that he can still draw. And he's got a chess clock, so he can afford, he's got 18 minutes. He played really quick, so he can easily afford to take the time to count this out and get really nitty-gritty with the info here. I'm running out of things to say. What decision will Falk come to? Let's go look at Falk's board state while he messes around with that. I still, with that Kaiba replay, especially on the top fate specifically, I feel like Lark probably has this game on lock. Of course, I don't know that for certain. There's no way for me to know. I think Falk has finally worked out his info, and in the end, he has decided to use Mello to nuke Mikami. Maybe he was looking for Death Note. I don't think we've seen Death Note go by. But that will kill Mikami and throw out Mello. The top fate is still open for Lark to go to, and then once he goes there, he can use his effect to kill Mello or Aizawa, whoever annoys him more, or if he has some way of getting L's name. I don't believe he does, but he might. We're going to see Umbra come out over at Kaiba's location, and I don't think he can do that. I don't think he was strong enough for that. Shouldn't Umbra have been at 2 and Teo was at 1, so that was 3 strength? I think that's what the judge is checking right now. Because Taya is considered an ally due to Rod. Oh dear. Yep, they realize that, and they're taking a lot of time to figure out fixing it. There we go. There we go. Even when you're among the best, small mistakes can be made. A simple miscount. We're going to see a Sadistic Glee instead to gain that 2 off of Taya. Is he going to spin 4 to take Kaiba here, which would lose Obelisk? I don't think he can afford to do that. He could afford to take Joey to use Joey against Yugi or Kaiba, but he really cannot afford to lose. If he has to replay anyone other than Yugi, he is definitely lost, I feel like. If he does something to Kaiba that doesn't involve just getting the God card back, then it's over. If he doesn't get Obelisk back. We're going to see Lark get Bakura and anti-roll, and he's going to put Bakura over a dual tower. No, he's actually going to double stack the top fate because he just wants to ensure that he is not fated. Nope, changed his mind. He is going to block dual tower, which does mean the Millennium Rod cannot be used now, which is going to really hurt for Falk. And then he's going to kill Mello with his ability at the end of his turn. Falk is in a really rough spot. I don't think he's going to be able to bring this one back, but it's always possible. If anyone's going to do it, it's going to be one of our QA members. But Falk is definitely in a rough spot here as Merrick. He's going to go to dual tower. He's got a lot of power to play with here. That will trigger Cure Occult, which will allow Lark to move over Chief Yagami, as he is choosing to do. We're going to see the Millennium Ring come out, which will let him clash with Bakura at the end of his turn. And he is going to defeat Yugi. That should use Odeon and Loomis, if I'm not mistaken. Indeed, it will. And then clash with Bakura. He's got to get Yugi back out, and he's got to find a way to beat Kaiba ASAP. And he has to do it before Lark gets this name token back. And it looks like Lark is probably going to play Shinigami Eyes here, specifically for that. That is going to cost him his 1. And he's not going to be able to kill Aizawa, but he can Fate and get a name token next turn. Yeah, Falk is going to have to Fate in return for that. He cannot afford to miss a Fate now. Really hoping for the tournament bracket. Oh, it was guaranteed, actually. He probably counted that, which was the main reason he defeated Yugi there. So he's got Yugi out. This, you know, I'm still leaning towards Lark having this, but with Slifer and Obelisk in play and both Millennium items out, it's really doable. And Matsuda here... Oh, no, it was an accusation, so he accused L. That's a way better play. I was going to say Matsuda is amazing here to move Light to Task Force and block Yellow Bucks, but accusing L to just really make it difficult for Lark to get this L kill when he doesn't even have L's name out and Rem is not in play, most likely the better play, I would say. I think that was the right call. I just saw Matsuda before I saw the other thing. Lark is going to discard out a lot of cards. He does not have what he needs to finish up the game. He's going to be able to kill Aizawa here and get down to just L. Light and L, the ultimate fight. We're going to see Mai played to dual tower because Lark wants to stack this Fate deck in a way that is useful to him, as well as just cover up all of Merrick's territory. Because of this, Merrick is most likely going to have to move to Domino City and gain his 3. And then I'm really curious as to what he's going to do with that 3. If he's going to mind possess Mai or Joey, or if he's just going to hold it. He's actually going to move to dual tower. Interesting. He's going to play Umbra for 1. He's not going to be able to do a Vanquish here, but he will be able to clash with Mai because he does have the 3 if he remembers to do so. There he goes. And then we're over to Lark. Lark is double checking. He probably has God of the New World in hand. He's double checking what he can play out of his discard pile. What are we... Something done over here? Oh, they were just double checking something. What are we going to see from Lark? Is he gonna Shinigami Eye and Fate this turn to get out L's name? The main thing is that he just has to have a plan for killing L right after. We've already seen... There should be one more accuse in here, I think. I think there's one more accuse in here to replay L another time if Lark isn't careful with his kill order. But I'm not entirely sure on that. I think Lark is double-checking that right now to see if one of these last 5 cards is in fact an accuse or not. Lark is going to move over to Task Force HQ. He's going to Shinigami Eyes. Those are a May, so he could have chosen not to, but he chooses to do it. He gets L's name because that's the only name possible, so he can give L that -1 this turn. He's going to spend 1 to Patient Plot so he can immediately get L's name back, because if Falk doesn't fade him, Falk will be able to fade. He's not at his bottom fate. We're going to see a tournament bracket probably on Mai immediately. Or Tomb Keepers could actually be the play here to see what Lark, or to see what Falk has in hand and do something about it. But it is just going to be Mai. He wants to cover up that power gain. He wants to make life very difficult for Falk right now, and he most certainly is. He gets to set up these next 3 cards. Ishizu should be coming up. Actually, I just remembered that Falk got rid of Ishizu earlier. And if Ishizu comes back out, then I really think it's game. I don't think that Falk will be able to recover from that. I'm still skeptical that he can recover from this. We're going to see an Alias and Ide, and he's going to Alias back in L's name, which Patient Plotting will get back out. I just saw that he's going to play a trap card. I just realized that Lark didn't hit L with the whatchamacallit, which is surprising. I'm surprised that he didn't do that. But now he does get the Patient Plotting, so he got L's name back, but he did not do the kill on L earlier. We're going to see Lark go over to Yellow Box and gain 1. He will then spend 1 on a Misinfo. He's discarding the Death Note. Is he going to hit L with the kill on this turn is the real question. Anti-Rule and Tournament Bracket, which I think was a miss. I don't think Falk even had any power. That is going to be the hit on L, which shouldn't trigger Trap card because it's an instead clause. He wasn't actually defeated. We're going to see Falk move over to Domino City and gain 3. I think he was already his bottom fate, if I'm not mistaken. Really just hoping that Lark cannot win on his turn. He's going to play Loomis. Is he really going to play Loomis to Yugi's location instead of to Umbra's to be able to defeat Kaiba? Falk is having a panic attack? I don't know what that was about. Lark is checking his discard pile. We've reached the point where these players know way more what they're doing than I have an idea of what they're doing. Does Lark have a way to get the name token? I don't think he does because he's taking the time to fate, so he can't kill L this turn. There's a Shizu. I think that... I'm going to be surprised. Let me put it that way. I'm going to be surprised if Falk brings this back. Anything is possible. Lark is struggling to get this kill on L, to get this kill confirmed. But, Desperate Gambit. Okay, so that's L's name and 2 power gained, and then what is this fate? It is Nier, so Falk gets to play Nier. Gonna cover the top fate. Is he gonna do any moving shenanigans with L? Swapping L and Chief Yagami mainly? Swapping L and Nier, that works just as well. Nier will die now at the end of Lark's turn. Or no, he's gonna kill L. That makes way more sense. What am I talking about? I forgot that he just got the name token from the Desperate Gambit. I think this is going to end up being game, and I think Falk is actually... I thought that he was conceding there. He pulled a Tomb Keepers with Trap card and is using it to get back a Shadow Game. But I think Lark is going to be able to pull this off at the end of his turn. False God card on Loomis so he can defeat Yugi now. We're going to see Accusation and Imprison, so that will be game, because now Lark moves anywhere and then just kills Nier at the end of his turn, because Imprison does nothing to him. He doesn't need name tokens. He's just going to move there. I don't know why he's bothering to gain power. He's doing something. He's styling. He's playing the Death Note for no reason at all, to use the Death Note to kill Nier, to make his dad do it instead of him doing it. Yeah, he's being Lark. He's just having a little funny haha. Very good game, but unfortunately, Lark just got some strong momentum that Falk was unable to come back from. He took a bit of a risk on when he discarded Kaiba and Ishizu, hoping that the Fate Shuffle would be lucky for him so that he could quickly get into Showdown after, I believe was his plan, but that unfortunately did not work out for him, and instead Lark was able to Fate back Kaiba, and a while after that he was able to Fate back Ra, or Ishizu rather, which just Falk was unable to come back from. So here we go with round 2 between Falk and Lark. We're going to see Falk banning Orochimaru. Doesn't want to see Orochimaru come out here. And then Lark is going to be banning Cell in return. So now, because Lark won the first game, he will have to pick first. And after picking, Falk will get the opportunity to counterpick him. So I believe Lark is pretty good with Orochimaru, but we're not going to be seeing that this time, and we're going to be seeing no Cell either. Who will Lark choose? Or is Falk picking first? It shouldn't be Falk picking. It should be Lark. Falk should get the counter pick. Oh, and Lark has chosen. He chose Tetsuo. I thought he was taking out Orochimaru out of his deck. So we're going to see Lark playing as Tetsuo. Now this I'm very excited to see. And we're going to see All For One from Falk. Okay, we're seeing some characters that have not gotten much mileage in the tournament, I think is how I will choose to say that. So I am very interested to see how this plays out. I'm really excited to see Tetsuo played by Lark here, because Tetsuo, he is hard to wrap your head around. I would say one of the more difficult characters in Battle Begins to really understand and play well. So I'm very excited to see Lark, one of our QA members, use him to some of his best awakening potential, we will say. And we haven't seen a lot of All For One, but I believe Falk is pretty good with All For One. Falk, I know that he really likes Laxus is one of his mains, I would say, but I'm pretty sure I've been told that he's really into All For One as well. And we've only seen All For One and Tetsuo twice each, maybe? I think we might have seen like 2 All For One games and 1 Tetsuo game, or maybe it was 1 of each. I can't recall. But we're off to the races here. Falk is taking his turn first as All For One. He's going to go over to UA High School and gain 1 so he can hit Tetsuo with that turn 1 Fate. We're going to see him throw twice down over at Kamino Ward, and then just chunk an Air Cannon, which won't be of any use anytime soon. Same for that Power Theft he got rid of. Motorcycle is a dead Fate here. Masaru is a pretty good one, though, and he's going to throw Masaru down at District, did I say 17? 17 slums. And as I would expect from Lark, he's going to go straight to the slums to play a card. He's going to discard Telekinesis and draw a card using Unhinged Laughter, because Telekinesis won't be of much use to him anytime soon, and just immediately clash with Masaru to clear up that top Fate, because All For One does not want to immediately go and Fate him again. We're going to see a Strength Enhancer plus a Hypertrophy from All For One. Holy cow, that is a good start for All For One. He's going to get 3 tokens from Hypertrophy on himself, 3+1s. Strength Enhancer will put another 1 on him, and then 1 on twice as well, so he can go to Kamino Ward on his turn, even though he has no power to take that 1 from twice if he really wants to. Lark is not going to Fate, despite that really strong hit there for a really good bit of progress there for All For One. Instead, he's going to get out an Organ Jar and use an excruciating power to just gain an exorbitant amount of power. He gained 2 power and drew 2 cards as a result, but he would have drawn 2 cards at the end of his turn anyway, so it's just a net gain. We're going to see a Rivets from All For One to get that +1 off of twice and gain a power as a result, and then a very strong Fate of Colonel Shikishima, who Tetsuo does not want to have to put up with in the slightest. Kaisuke has passed now as a result, so we won't be seeing the motorcycle back anytime soon since he plays the motorcycle. We're going to see Lark get Kaori out and throw out a Debris so he can clash with Colonel Shikishima later. They're playing so fast, these QA guys. I'm doing my best to keep up with them. And then what are we gonna see next? Falk is looking at Lark's board state and deciding what he wants to do. He's had a really strong start. He's already got All For One up to 5. It's always a good time as All For One if you can get Hypertrophy before you gain any strength, because getting that just immediate +3 strength is very strong for All For One, instead of having to put those tokens on an ally and then try and sap them out. He's going to go to the Quirk Laboratory, or not. He's changing his mind. He was thinking pretty hard. He's going to go to Kamino Ward, actually, and pay 2, his only 2 power for Kurogiri, use Kurogiri's discard action, and keep some more pressure on Tetsuo since he's got Colonel Shikishima ready to die, and he got Canada, but he's actually going to play Akira instead. Okay. Canada would have definitely kept Shikishima alive for a bit longer, but Akira is going to make it a lot harder for Lark to get rid of this first control token. So it's looking pretty rough for Tetsuo right now. He's going to gain one and spend one to Akira Reborn Colonel Shikishima, who is only 3 strength thanks to the debris. He was able to Akira Reborn thanks to Kaori being his location. Then we're going to see Endeavor and One for All. That sucks. That sucks for Lark, seeing Endeavor and One for All at the same time. Those are probably the 2 strongest Fate cards in the deck I would be willing to wager. Endeavor is going to take away 1 strength. It looks like Lark decided, as of right now with this board state, it's more important to start getting some of this early strength off of All for One, since he got so much of it so quickly, than it is to try to use Midoriya. And we're going to see a double strength enhancer, so All for One gets 2 more strength and then gets 1 on Twice and Kurogiri. Very powerful play by Falk. He has pumped up All for One very fast, very impressive. My dog has just come into the room. Hello, Koji. I'm busy right now, buddy. I'll pay attention to you after the game is over. We're going to see Lark throw out a Rebellion and get some Fate pressure going. Very understandable. He probably wants to hopefully be able to get rid of some of those +1 allies. He's going to get Best Genist. He didn't get Midoriya or Bakugo. But he's going to get Best Genist to cover that top Fate, which is always a pain in the neck for All for One because he loves that top Fate. Was probably also hoping for maybe some hero movement to move Endeavor over. Ooh, a kinetic booster to get Endeavor out of here. He spent 1 to not have to discard Kurogiri in that action. Kurogiri with the +1 was 4 strength, as is Endeavor. We're going to see Hallucinations in Yamagata, and that's going to put Kaori back in his hand while also covering that top Fate. Been a really rough game for Lark thus far. He's going to take that +1 from Kurogiri, so he's up to 7. It is looking mighty good for All for One right now. Lark is going to go get out an Organ Jar and just immediately get rid of Yamagata. It's very, very important for... We're going to see Rebellion trigger. He's actually going to get rid of Kaori. Very interesting. Doesn't want to have to play her again anytime soon with only 3 power. And Lady Miyako. Very interesting play by Lark. Probably just trying to get to the rest of his Organ Jars and maybe his pills to very quickly get rid of Akira and get this first token gone. Oh my goodness, and a multiplier. This has been an incredible deck order for All for One, I would say. He has had a very, very nice deck order, and Falk has made incredibly good use of it. Tetsuo has had a bit of a rougher time. Awakening Potential, are we looking... It looks like Lark is going to try to get his hands on a token gone next turn. We're going to see him discard Twice to get rid of that +1, and then Bakugo gets +1, so that will be the end of Twice there. He really just wants to slow down Falk getting these strength tokens very badly, because he has gotten a lot of progress. Falk actually going to discard Quirk Combo, and they're going to see K and Hallucinations. That's going to be rough. Probably at a Neo Tokyo Stadium. It's going to make it very difficult for Lark, even with Awakening Potential, to be able to empty out his hand this turn. He has 5 cards. He probably needed that 2 power and the extra play a card to be able to combo with Organ Jars, but now that K is there, he will not be able to. He might be able to go to Highway Overpass, and with the 2 plays, the 3 power, and then Awakening Potential as his activate, he may be able to get that token. And it looks like that's what he is going to try to do. His other option probably would have been to give up on that plan and instead go for fading Falk. We're going to see him use Awakening Potential to activate the Organ Jars, discarding 2 of them and then 2 cards from his hand. But he still has 3 cards in hand. He's going to play a Cultist and an Unhinged Laughter. And then he discards the Cultist instead of drawing from Unhinged Laughter, which will get rid of his first control token, discard Akira after K has already been played. There is a Fate Reshuffle somewhat in the distance, but that is with Best Genist Fate locking All for One right now. That is very good for Lark. A good bit of progress in cleaning out his challenge. Okay, we're going to see Falk go over to Quirk Laboratory and move a token from himself to a Nomu to then multiply to buff up Spinner and Nomu. And we are definitely going to see Lark wanting to hopefully draw Midoriya to try and get rid of those +2 tokens on those guys right now. Those 2 +1 tokens, rather. We're going to see Lark throw out Organ Jar at K's location because we know there is a Soul coming up. Todoroki could be pretty good here. So could Ida. But Todoroki could really hard stack UA High School, and that is exactly what Lark is going to do, because what Lark wants the most right now is he wants to slow down Falk as much as he can now that Falk's made such great progress, but he also just really wants to keep himself safe from Fates. We're going to see a Rivets from All For One, which is going to get him up to 11 strength, so he is now in range to play Quirk combo and then defeat All Might. So I imagine Lark will probably be fading to hopefully try to negate that in some fashion. I'm not sure if he can outside of a plus ultra giving All Might 1 more strength. We're going to see Lark throw out some pills, probably to try and get back. We're going to see Eraserhead and Rescue here. Rescue plays Ida. He could use Ida to move All Might to the League of Villains hideout. That will buy All Might at least one more turn. Oh, Uraraka actually does it even better. I didn't realize Uraraka was in the discard. So this is good for Lark. He's buying himself a good amount of time. He's not gonna. That is also gonna give Todoroki plus one more strength because All Might was moved. Whenever heroes move, Todoroki gains strength. Lark is lining up a lot of heroes to mess with Falk when he gets in a showdown, and he's also holding him off from getting to All Might here, which is very, very strong. Because what Falk really wants to do right now is he most likely has Quirk combo in his hand. He really just wants to... Oh, he's going to move All Might with Mr. Compress. That makes a lot of sense. But what Falk really wants to do right now is get to All Might, play Quirk combo, and punch All Might to get into showdown so he can really start tearing through. We're going to see Hallucinations and Soul. We might actually see Hallucinations done here. Soul could get rid of the pills, but nah, he chose to hallucinate to make Tetsuo draw 2. He just really wants to slow down Tetsuo long enough to get himself into showdown. He probably, more than anything, wanted to hit a hero there to block this top fate. I believe both of the other children... I think this is 3 heroes here. Dr. Onishi and then the 2 other children. Falk, really, that was an unlucky fate for Falk. I imagine he really wanted to get someone on this top fate, so Tetsuo couldn't fade him this turn. We're going to see Rescue and Midoriya, so Ida could be played here, or Midoriya could start killing some allies, and that is what is going to happen, immediately getting rid of that Nomu, who would be very useful for vanquishing soon. Falk is more than likely just going to get into showdown here with Quirk combo, and indeed, that is exactly what's going to happen. He's going to use his turn solely to punch All Might in the mouth, get him out of there, get into showdown. That discards his Quirk combo, and now he's just in a really good position to start cleaning out these heroes. He's got a good amount of allies out. He just needs to give them some strength and then just start clashing with All For One nonstop. So Tetsuo definitely playing from behind, but the game's not over until it's over. He's got his top fate open for now. It's very likely to be covered soon. But if Lark could just get rid of that second token at least, he's going to play a Rebellion, hoping to draw into some cards to do exactly that. If he can just keep some decent pressure, Gran Torino is going to really help with that here, because you can't clash with him, and that messes up... well, you can clash with him, but he won't be defeated. He'll just be moved and lose strength, and that blocks up now both of the vanquishes for All For One. One of them is blocked by Hero. The other one is a lame location. He doesn't want to go here, especially when he's not going to actually kill Gran Torino. He's just going to move Gran Torino. So it's looking very much in All For One's favor here, I would say. I would say that All For One has a good shot at winning this, but it is possible that Tetsuo could make a last-second comeback. I imagine we're probably going to see Falk. Oh, he's actually going to go to his top fate, probably because he wants to get rid of Best Jeanist to start moving his allies. I thought he might go over to punch Todoroki in the mouth. He's going to do an air cannon to kill Bakugo, and then he'll clash with Best Jeanist at the end of his turn to open his top fate, and then he can just go to his bottom fate next turn to clash with Todoroki, I imagine is probably his plan. All he cares about is cleaning out heroes as fast as humanly possible. He knows that he can win before Tetsuo can get these other tokens out. We're going to see Tetsuo activate pills to get out one of his organ jars from the discard. He is getting close to a reshuffle. He does have a lot of cards in hand, though. And it looks like that is what he's doing. He's going to use pills, I assume, for organ jar. He doesn't have to worry about soul now. He does have to worry about Dr. Onishi putting the organ jar back into his hand, but he can force Dr. Onishi to be played where Kai already is in that case, which is nice. We're also going to see Occultist thrown down over there. Probably what Lark is looking to do is he wants to be able to go over here, use his organ jars, and then only draw up to, say, 3 cards at the end of his turn, because he has to make some big plays here and get rid of his second and third control tokens basically back-to-back. Oh, that's a rough fate. One for all here is not great. It's a little late for it to be super useful. He really wanted to see another hero, basically, just any hero to throw out on top of that top fate. And he's actually going to plus Ultra to just give +1 to everyone to make it harder for All For One to use his allies and vanquishes, which is a very fair play. All for One is going to go over here and give Kurogiri one of his +1 strength. He doesn't need 10 strength. I mean, I imagine All for One can pretty comfortably let himself go down to probably like 5 or 6 strength. That makes sure that he's still capable of defeating basically any hero, even if they get a +1. He played Warping, so he used Warping to move Kurogiri over to Gran Torino. That is going to give Todoroki +1, so Todoroki is at 8. He's definitely going to want to clash with Todoroki here. I've never seen Todoroki gain so much power before. That's insane. And then Kyoko is going to be thrown out here just to block that top fate mainly. It's also going to make it harder for Tetsuo to use his effects. They'll be more expensive. But the main thing he's trying to do here is block that top fate, because again, all Falk really needs to do is just buy himself a little time with getting fated less words, so that he can close out his game before Falk can knock this out. Ooh, Ida here for Midoriya for Kurogiri, or actually he's just going to move Gran Torino out of the way to block the top fate. That makes a lot more sense, honestly. I'll admit, I'm not super well-versed with All for One. He's one of the characters that I have a little less experience with. And he actually, in the end, instead of blocking that top fate, Lark is going to go with the Kurogiri play that I was thinking in the first place, to make sure that Gran Torino stays alive longer. He decided that it's worth getting fated to ensure that that heroes stay around longer. He just needs to buy some time. We're going to see a power theft thrown out by Falk here, which is very likely to trigger so that some of these +1 tokens can be gotten rid of. We're going to see Takashi and Yamagata, so that's going to be Yamagata played to get that cultist off of there to just double stack that top fate. That might be like the game decider, essentially. Oh, he's going to use Takashi to stack it, actually, which is also very fair. But having that double stack now is going to make it very hard for Tetsuo to keep up any pressure. Soul has been reshuffled, and even if he gets rid of K, a Soul hitting these organ jars and that cultist would be disastrous for Lark at the moment. Takashi making him draw more from effects and Kyoko making them more expensive. That's a very dangerous combo. So Lark he's definitely in a really rough position right now. I don't think he's going to be able to claw this game back, but you never know. He is going to go over to the District 17 slums. He needs to clean it up. These heroes are stopping him from a lot of combo plays and whatnot. He really needs to clean this up as fast as he can, because he needs to be able to keep fate pressure on All for One to delay his victory long enough to be able to get to his own. If Lark can clear out this top fate relatively quickly, we're going to see him spend 3. Is he using, he's using Awakening Potential and then killing Kyoko. Very interesting. I thought he might be using Telekinesis, but I think he discarded that earlier. Or maybe Akira Reborn, which would have cost 2, not 3. If Lark can just find himself a way to use these organ jars to clear out a token and potentially get another token back-to-back. Oh, is that Hallucinations played right there? I think Falk pulled Kaisuke and Hallucinations, and he's just playing Hallucinations instead of Kaisuke to try and stop whatever. No, he's actually going to play Kaisuke to Military Hospital. So he wants to make it where Lark cannot be gaining any amount of power while also fading. Yeah, I don't see... Oh, they missed Power Theft triggering on Kyoko being killed. He's just taking a +1 from Gran Torino. And then he's clashing with Uraraka at the end of his turn, and then we're back to Lark. I don't see Lark being able to pull this back, but anything is possible. He does have Awakening Potential this turn. He draws more cards from using effects than normal, but they don't cost more because of Kyoko anymore, so maybe with Awakening Potential, he goes to Highway Overpass to get rid of his second token, potentially. It's a shame he couldn't get that second token out a little bit sooner. If he was getting rid of his last token here, then it would be we'd have a really close game. But he's only going to be able to get rid of 1 extra token here, spending 2 for a double play of pills. Unfortunately, that is going to reshuffle before he can make use of those pills, which is very unfortunate. But he is down to just 1 token. The problem is that All for One only has a couple of people to clash with, and he's actually going and gaining 2 power purely to clash. And he's clashing with Gran Torino, actually, to move Gran Torino over to Spinner and Mr. Compress, who he wants to hopefully use soon to vanquish them. And that will be all of Falk's turn. Falk is having a bit of an issue getting rid of all of these people. Lark is going to go over just to Fate. He's going to get Eraserhead and Rescue. Are we going to see Uraraka played here to protect Gran Torino? I don't know. Is Todoroki in here? We might also see Todoroki come out to move over Midoriya and Ida to guard the top Fate. We're going to see Uraraka to move Gran Torino to the UA High School to guard the top Fate. I see. And then Uraraka is going to go up to 3 strength, which puts her just out of range of this Nomu. Nomu's getting extra strength for every +1 token, but this Nomu is only at 1 right now. So he's technically at 2 strength, just out of range for Uraraka. And we're actually going to see Falk put another +1 on the Nomu, even though he's most likely just clashing with Uraraka at the end of his turn. And he decides actually to play Dabi, who can hit anywhere and give him that +1. That makes a lot of sense. Akira and Soul here. It's a good thing he got those... Akira is going to be really rough for Lark, but it's a good thing that he got those... whatchamacallits used right before Soul came out. Lark is going to go to the District 17 slums to gain 1. He needs to get Takashi out of here, and he's going to get to do it with an Akira Reborn. Unfortunately, Takashi doesn't get defeated. The motorcycle moves him over, but now Lark has gotten the motorcycle out of here, and he can then follow up with a Fate on Falk, because again, he has to keep pressure. Oh, it's going to be Bakugo on Dabi for sure, right? It's going to put Bakugo right in range of this Nomu, but that's a 2-strength Dabi that can hit anywhere, which is very strong for All For One when he's trying to close out his game. That is indeed exactly what is going to happen. And Bakugo is at 3, so he's just out of range of this Nomu again, which is very good for Lark. Lark is doing very incredibly well at keeping this game alive and not allowing All For One to close out his showdown. We are going to see him clash with Gran Torino again to give him another -1 and just move him over, trying to get Gran Torino out of here some way. And then Lark is going to be able to get rid of Kaisuke this turn as well as Fate. I am amazed, probably going to see... Oh, actually, we could see Rescue to play Ida, maybe, or Uraraka again. Todoroki, actually, I didn't realize Todoroki was in there, moving over Gran Torino and Bakugo, which is going to cover that top Fate again. I am amazed at Lark's skill with Tetsuo here. I wish I was this good at Tetsuo. To be able to keep this level of Fate pressure with Tetsuo, to be able to slow down All For One while just inching towards his objective. It's entirely possible that we could see Lark bring this back, because Falk is having a really rough time. Every time he gets an ally out, he immediately gets countered by his Fate deck. So it has been quite rough for All For One to... We're going to see Rebellion trigger here for Tetsuo. He is going to get rid of Kaori. He's not going to have the power to play her anytime soon, but that does mean he's going to have to work hard to get out of control, or hope out of control is already near the bottom of his deck, so that while he's working on discarding his last control token, he doesn't run into out of control and then be unable to play it. Oh no. I think someone misclicked on the clock. Okay, a little bit of a misclick on the clock there, reset it. We had to rewind time to get the clock back, and now we're back where we were. Falk is taking his turn. He's playing Shigaraki and then using Kinetic Booster to kill Bakugo, because Bakugo was at 0 strength thanks to Shigaraki's effect. Surprised that he didn't get rid of Gran Torino first, honestly. But that will be really good for Falk now. Midoriya is out. I believe Bakugo. I don't think there's a rescue here. We are about to get a reshuffle, so it could be a lucky reshuffle for Lark to get Bakugo or One For All back out to kill Shigaraki. But Shigaraki guarding this top Fate, especially in Showdown, is very, very good for... What's his name? For Falk. Very good for him. We're going to see an Organ Jar played, and then finally clashing with Takashi. An amazing job by Lark clearing out his territory. He's going to move over to League of Villains hideout, and then... to use the Vanquish there on Shigaraki to defeat Gran Torino, and he's actually going to clash with Midoriya and get him out of there, leaving just Ida and Todoroki. So this game, it's coming to a close one way or another. We could actually... I still think that Falk has this as All For One. I think he's got it. But we could actually see this game really come down to the order of this reshuffle by Lark. If he can keep a good amount of pressure and he just gets... really lucky, potentially, with some hero pulls on discarding allies and whatnot, he can keep Falk from his victory a little bit longer. Almost every card other than Plus Ultra in All For One's deck plays heroes, basically, unless Rescue misses. There's no one to rescue in the discard right now. The only options would be Bakugo and Uraraka, who are in the Fate deck. Todoroki and Ida are in play. That's probably why he left Ida and Todoroki in play earlier and killed Midoriya first. We're going to see an air cannon to get Endeavor out of here. Very good for Falk that he finally drew that air cannon to get some extra kills going. And he gets to Fate Colonel Shikishima on the top Fate, probably. Oh, no, he's actually blocking Highway Overpass to make sure that Lark can't sneakily get rid of that last token. And then he clashes with Todoroki. So as of right now, Falk wins on his turn. So Lark has to Fate because he needs a hero out so that Falk can't just move over to Ida and clash with him. Ooh, a Shockwave, also moving the Cultist over to Shikishima. Very strong play by Lark. He's gonna get Bakugo and Uraraka. Yeah, Bakugo on Shigaraki here. Probably would have been the play I would make as well. And now Uraraka is a target for rescue, so Lark is near guaranteed to get a hero with every fate, which he desperately needs right now. Does Falk have a way, though? Does he have another air cannon or something? He's going to Rivet to gain some more power. And then just discard his hand because he needs to get some cards that'll let him do a double kill. So once again, Falk is at WinCon. He just has to move to Ito, which means Lark has to fade every turn, which is making it very, very difficult. Gran Torino is going to be a major headache. That is very unlucky for Falk. Probably Gran Torino is the hero that he wanted to see the absolute least here right now, given that he can't just clash to take him out. That is very rough for Falk. And very good for Lark. And then we're going to see an Akira Reborn from Lark as well to kill Colonel Shikishima and get him out of there. And he got another Organ Jar, I didn't notice. He pills an Organ Jar, I think. And he played another Organ Jar. Oh my goodness. Lark could seriously bring this back. He can't activate the Organ Jars on his turn, though, because he won't be able to gain power and have an activate, enough power and have an activate at the same time, which is very unfortunate. And then Falk does not like what he's seeing. He's going to go over here and buff this Nomu in hopes of using it on Gran Torino. He's going to play Strength Enhancer to give the Nomu. So the Nomu is now at 4. So Falk wins on his turn. He can go here, use the Vanquish on Gran Torino, and then clash with Ida. And we're going to see Canada and Hallucinations. Lark has to move to Military Hospital on his turn now, which actually Lark doesn't mind that much because he needs to gain that 1 power and be ready to activate on these Organ Jars. We are going to see Falk cover the top fate because, again, he just needs to buy himself just a turn of a hero not being played, and he can most likely close out this game. This has been a nail-biter. What a game. What a game between these two. I am major kudos to Lark. I am amazed at how well he has played Tetsuo, even though early on it was looking real bad for him, at least my untrained eye. It's entirely possible, and dare I say it, even likely, that the rest of QA, or the rest of QA is just Butter in this case. Butter was watching this and was like, nah, Lark's still got a good shot here the entire time. Eraserhead and a Rescue. Rescue will hit Uraraka or Bakugo here. Oh, Bakugo on the Nomu for Gran Torino would really hurt, but he also really wants to cover this top fate. Todoroki. Okay, so he's just going to move Gran Torino with Todoroki, and then if Todoroki dies to the Nomu, then oh well. Because All For One can't just move to Gran Torino to clash with him. I feel like Falk has gotten a pretty unlucky setup of his Fate deck here. It's been pretty rough for him, I feel like. Or maybe this is just how All For One goes. Again, I don't have a ton of experience with All For One. He is one of the characters I would say I'm least experienced with, honestly, in the pack. Definitely in the bottom half of the 10 for my experience-wise. Are we going to see... He's going to Highway Overpass. Are we going to see an Akira Reborn here? No, if he had Akira Reborn, surely he would have used it while at District 17 Slums to get a Fate in. We're going to see him play out another Cultist. He could move that Cultist to his location and then play another card and only draw 3. This would guarantee him getting into Showdown. Oh, he's actually going to Excruciating? Is he playing it for 0? I'm not sure what Lark is doing here. If he gets himself to just 3 cards here, he won't draw to 5. Because of Akira, he would draw to 5 at the end of his turn. If he doesn't use Excruciating Power to gain power, and he discards these 2 Cultists, he'll be at 3 cards. He can go to Neo Tokyo, activate, discard his hand, get that last token out of here. We don't know where Out of Control is. It's possible that Falk could win on his turn some way, but Gran Torino can't be killed by Clash. That is exactly what he's going to do. The problem is now is that he won't be able to Fate on his turn unless he has Akira Reborn in his hand to Akira Reborn Canada. He won't be able to... He'll have to go here to activate to use his Organ Jars. And Masaru's probably being played to that top fate. No, Hallucinations actually to stop the Organ Jar play in the first place. That is unfortunate for Lark. Falk did not... he played a Nomu, actually, to Gran Torino's location to try and get ready for a Vanquish. And now Lark is going to go... He's going to Telekinesis, actually, to move Canada so that he can Fate this turn and activate the pills, potentially, to play something. He's also going to move K over to the bottom fate, which is a lot better for him. Open up Neo Tokyo, his big combo location. He has to worry if a Soul gets top-decked here, it's over. That is Lark's greatest worry right now, other than All For One just closing out a Showdown. Lark's greatest worry here is that a soul gets top-decked and then just destroys these organ jars. We're going to see him play Excruciating Power to gain 1 with his pills. He's using pills to play the Excruciating Power from his discard. He'll gain 1, which means he draws 1. He would have drawn to 5 cards at the end of his turn anyway. He can very easily clean out his hand on his turn. Double plus Ultra. That's bad. That is, not really it's not a dead fate. It gave Gran Torino +1, but that's about as close to a dead fate as you can get right now. For, ooh, Hypertrophy, that's game. That's game. No moves at 6 now, even with the +1. Gran Torino is out, and that is game. That was a very unfortunate fate for Lark. 1 for all would have made all the difference. If he had just gotten 1 for all or even rescue there, then Lark could have had a real chance at bringing this game back. But even if he had gotten those, it was looking very good, especially with that Hypertrophy available. It was looking very good for Falk. So a very, very good game. An incredibly good game of Tetsuo and All for One there. Truly fantastic. That was a treat to watch. And it does mean that Falk is the winner, so we will be going to a 3rd game between Lark and Falk, which I am super hyped to see how this plays out and which one of them will be moving on to the Final 4. Okay, and here we go with Game 3 between Falk and Lark. I believe Lark is banning Merrick, as we can see here. I was actually thinking, isn't Falk the starting player? But no, Falk just won. Lark is the starting player, of course. That's how that works, Chaos. And Falk is banning Light, so they do not want a repeat of their first game. They want to get a second game available here. Or a second game available. What am I saying? Am I dying? I've been recording too long. I streamed right before we did their game today, so. But we're going to see Falk playing Laxus, who I believe is one of his mains, and then Lark playing Orochimaru. Okay. We haven't seen a lot of Orochimaru in this tournament. I'm very excited to see more of them. Lark is a very good player, as we all know, so I'm excited to see some high-level Orochimaru play here. We've seen a bit more of Laxus, I believe, but I am very excited to see how this plays out. What are we going to get from this? Actually, I mean, Lark counterpicked Orochimaru into Laxus, and I was about to say, I think Orochimaru has a bit of a favorable matchup here. Reincarnation is very likely to trigger. Substitution Jutsu is very likely to trigger. Laxus will trigger, Laxus will trigger Orochimaru's schemes quite a bit, so that's very favorable for Orochimaru to be able to get Shedskin off and Substitution off with relative, what's the word I'm looking for? Relative likelihood? Ease? Oftenness? Oh dear, we've lost Butter. Okay, we got Butter back. He had a little bit of a disconnect there, and we've got to have our head judge ready to go. So he's back, and we are ready to play now. And we see that Falk is taking his mulligan, even though he had Evergreen in hand. Interesting. I don't play a whole lot of Laxus, but I feel like if you have an ally, then that's a decent Laxus starting hand, because he's got to get those 3 allies ASAP. But he decided to mulligan regardless. Orochimaru is going to go straight over to the Forest of Death. Gain 1, probably looking to potentially discard some or play. Oh no, he's changing his mind and going to Tanzaku, actually. He wanted to do that turn 1 Fate, but it looks like he took a second look at his hand and decided, you know what? I need to play some of these cards. He's going to be throwing out a Shedskin on Laxus, aka Falk. He's going to be playing a Body Mods. He just wants to really set his deck right out the gate. He should be looking at the top 5 there, not the top 4. We'll see if he remembers. Weird that he pulled them out and did the alt look thing instead of the fancy search thing. Oh, he got Manda. Okay, so he decided instead of fading turn 1, getting Manda at the top fate is more important. Very fair play by Lark, I would say. We're going to have to hope that that one card he didn't look at, because he played Shedskin first, I believe. That one card that he didn't look at wasn't the card to make the difference. Falk is going to go over to Guildhall, gain 1 and spin 2 to throw out a Dark Ecriture on Outskirts. Good start there. Discarding Lightning Body and something else that I didn't see there, which triggers Shedskin for Orochimaru. He gets to draw an extra card. Gonna hit him with a Fate. Ooh, Sarutobi. He is gonna throw out Sarutobi. Decomposing, not being used here, not caring about whatever Lark has in his hand, even though he set up some specific draw and whatnot. The old man is immediately going to be defeated by Manda, and Lark is actually going to go to his bottom fate to do that, so he can also gain 2 at the same time. Turn 1 Natsu is something that Laxus does not like to see, especially for Natsu to just sit on that top fate. Laxus hates having to take the time to defeat Natsu when he's anywhere, really, but the top fate especially. He just hates having to deal with that. We're going to see Freed played. Oh my goodness, that's an incredible Freed. Discarding Fairy Law there. Throwing out a Soul Doll as well with his other play, and now he's got Urza at that Dark Ecriture, ready to be defeated by Freed or Dark Ecritured later on. You're going to see Orochimaru now go right back to Tanzaku, just wanting to play a lot. He's got Kitamaro, very good. Followed up by Tayuya, just building up his allies. Are we going to see... I was going to see Reincarnation. I thought we might see a Curse Seal there. But Forbidden Experiment. 2 Forbidden Experiments! Holy cow! Now that was a great Shedskin turn. 5 cards played. He gained 7 power through that. My word, that is a good turn for Orochimaru. And then out comes Jiraiya to hopefully really needle a lot of that power that Orochimaru just got off of him through whatever it is I'm thinking of, through playing allies and items for more cost. That was, oh man, that's every Orochimaru player's dream there. Imagine having so much power, you can just go to Konoha and not care. That's 3 for Sakon and Ukon to be played to Jiraiya there. And then another 1 for Killing Intent to give Jiraiya -1, so now Sakon and Ukon can be used to defeat him. Definitely draining away a good chunk of that power Orochimaru just got, so that's a pretty good fate for Falk. We're also going to see him throw out Reincarnation before he ends his chain of playing there, and then he will use Sakon and Ukon to defeat Jiraiya, and then draw back up. We're going to see Falk go over to Magnolia to gain himself a lot of power. He's going to throw out Dragon Force. He doesn't have to worry about Fairy Law anytime soon. And then Dragon Force with the Lightning Dragon Roar. Lightning Dragon Roar means he doesn't have to lose Dragon Force from Dragon Force's ability. Gains 2 from Soul Dolls and draws 2. And then, which would have been the 2 he drew at the end of his turn anyway. But now he gets to choose to discard if he didn't like any of those cards that he drew. And he discarded a lot. He discarded his entire hand even. Probably digging for Bixlow and Evergreen because he really wants to get his other allies out here. 2 Reincarnations set up is really nice for Orochimaru. Eventually, Falk will use an ally to defeat a hero, and then that will trigger both of those and let Lark just add Manda back to his hand and any other allies that he really wants to make use of. What are we going to see Lark do here? Falk just made some pretty good progress there. He's still got Thunder Dragon, or Dragon Force out, I mean, is what it's called. So he probably wants to hit him with a Fate, but he's actually going to go to Tanzaku. He's going to focus more on progressing his own objective. He's got an open board right now. He has his 2 weaker allies with only 2 strength out, but a couple of allies out here. Probably looking... no, he is going to decide to go to Forest of Death in the end. Changed his mind. He's going to discard Killing Intent. Not going to get much use out of it anytime soon. What else are we going to see? We're going to see some big plays. We're going to see him throw out Kimimaro and put a Poison Kunai on Kitamaro. One of my favorites. I love when that Spider-Man has himself a lot of kunais to stab people with. We're going to see Lucy and Loki and Mystigan here, and he's going to play Mystigan to Outskirts, because now if Falk goes to his bottom fate, he has to give up Dragon Force in the process, which Falk does not want to do. So Falk is actually going to go to Cardia instead, and he's going to have his other Lightning Dragon Roar to immediately get Mystigan out of there. That is a very good Lightning Dragon Roar ordering for Falk there, and that is essentially his turn, just wanting to get Mystigan out of there immediately and not lose his Dragon Force in the process. Orochimaru a little low on power. We could see Lark take an Otagakuri turn here just to gain 2 power to stockpile a little bit, as well as Fate. He's counting his strength of allies. He might already have Sealed Coffin in hand, and he's debating going to Tanzaku to play it, so he can hopefully activate it in the next turn or 2. But he is going to go to Otagakuri, gain 2 and Fate. He needs to cover up some more of Laxus' territory. We're going to see him throw Mirajane over at Magnolia Streets, which is going to add another resolve. Laxus is in a pretty decent position right now, but he's also got some rough stuff going on. Those Lightning Dragon Roars were really nicely set up, but Lark has also gotten some really nice fates with getting a bunch of the 4 strengthers out. We're going to see Falk throw out a Stone Gaze on Mirajane to bring her down to 0, and then he's going to get Gaara and Dead Demon Consuming. It's very likely that Lark has Sealed Coffin in his hand right now, so Dead Demon Consuming Seal could be really annoying. It could force Lark to have to take a turn to just play the Sealed Coffin and then use Dead Demon next turn. But he is actually going to play Gaara to cover up the top fate at Forest of Death, which is also a very fair play. Probably move away Kitamaro or Kimimaro. Probably Kimimaro. He's going to move Kimimaro and switch him to defense mode, to attack mode, to defense mode again. And he's going to throw him all the way over at Otagakuri. We can still see Lark utilize Kitamaro with the Poison Kunai to get Gaara dead here. Many decisions to be made, all depending on what Lark has in his hand. Decomposing and Dead Demon have both gone by now, if I'm not mistaken, so he does not have to worry anytime soon about seeing any of the cards in his hand threatened. So he can afford to hold stuff for a little bit. Lark is thinking really hard right now. He's probably counting up the ally strength that he has because he needs to have 10 ally strength for Sealed Coffin. And it costs 2 to play Sealed Coffin, and he's already at one of his activates. So if he goes, he doesn't have enough right now, I think. I think he's short 1, actually. No, he's short 2. He has 8 strength. He needs more, yeah. So he can't go to Konoha, play the Coffin, and an ally to activate it this turn. Instead, he's going to go to Tenzaku, probably gain enough power to play an ally if he has it in hand, and then follow that up with the Sealed Coffin so that he can activate Sasuke next turn, either at Konoha or Otagakuri. He's going to throw a substitution jutsu over on Laxus, give to Yuya a Poison Kunai so she can defeat Gaara now, and then a body mod, so maybe he doesn't have the card he needs in his hand. This should be 6. This time he remembered to do them all. What are we going to get here? Double checking to see what he wants and what he doesn't. He's down to 5 cards left here. He's going to get rid of Summon Rashomon. Doesn't think he's going to get any use out of it anytime soon. Going to ditch a Curse Seal, even though he hopefully has Sasuke coming out soon. He might have another one in his hand already. Sorry, something in my throat there. And then it looks like he's putting everything back in the order that he prefers, because he should be drawing most of those. Yep, drew 3 of those up right there. And then we're over to Falk's turn. Falk still fate-locked by Natsu, which is really nice for Orochimaru. He loves to see that right now. What are we going to see on Mirror Jane? Is he Biding Time? He's playing Biding Time, which discards his entire hand, and then he gets to add a card of his choice from his deck or discard to his hand. Probably one of the allies he's missing. Choosing not to clash with Mirror Jane right now. He'd rather keep Dragon Force, because even though Mirror Jane is at 0, he would lose Dragon Force in that exchange. Probably he just added Evergreen to his hand, if I had to guess. What is Lark going to do here? He still doesn't have enough strength of allies. He's at 9 right now, I believe. He needs 1 more strength of allies. Is he going to kill Gaara, even though we'll be short on another ally? If he kills Gaara, he'll lose one of these 3 strength. They're 3 strength right now thanks to the Poison Kunai. But if he... I don't think we've seen Kabuto yet. If he gets Kabuto, he could play Kabuto, and that would be the extra 4 strength he needs. We're going to see Gajeel cover Cardia Cathedral. That's going to be very annoying for Laxus, because with Natsu in play, Gajeel is a 5, which means Laxus cannot just clash with him, unfortunately. He's going to go over to Outskirts, gain 2. He is going to play Evergreen, the card I assume he added to his hand. He's going to use Evergreen's ability to insta... Oh, he's going to play Juvia first to Dark Ecriture with Freed's ability. Then he's going to use Evergreen's ability on Stone Gaze to kill Mira, which, I don't know if he moved down his resolve for that. He's moving it down now. That moves his resolve down. Then that triggered substitution, and Lark swapped himself as Orochimaru with Gaara. So now Gaara is lined up to die to Kimimaro. Kimimaro can be replayed, and then Orochimaru can use his bottom fate. And then we're also seeing... Or are we seeing... Oh, we're seeing Laxus' fate first. Sasuke and Shuriken. Probably Shuriken Kimimaro here, if I had to guess. Or he could take the gamble on... Or maybe Tsuyu. Is he doing it on Tsuyu? Oh, he's doing it on Kitamaru because Kitamaru has range. That also makes a lot of sense, yeah. So now Lark is really hurting for the ally strength he needs to be able to play Sasuke out. And then Falk is finally going to use his Dragon Force to get rid of Juvia, which means he still has to play 3 more heroes right now, and we have not seen Happy come by yet. What is Lark going to do? He's going to go to Konoha. Does he have the right hand seals in hand that he doesn't mind using Kimimaro and Gaara here? He's going to play Jirobo. I think that's just enough for Sealed Coffin. It should be, if I'm not mistaken. Kitamaru is 1, and then the other 3 are all 3, so that adds up to exactly 10. So he should be able to play Sasuke here. He's going to Forbidden Experiment to gain 2. Will he use his... He wouldn't be able to put Kitamaru back in his hand, but will he Vanquish before playing? Nope, he's going to go straight to playing Sasuke instead. Probably wants to go to Otagakuri to do the Kimimaro Vanquish and discard cards from his hand next turn to do it that way instead. He doesn't have 4 Violet Barrier out, and he doesn't have a Curse Seal on Sasuke. That could be a problem. We're going to see Falk go over to Magnolia Streets. He is overloaded on power. He's going to gain 3 and then spend 2 to play Bixlow. That'll get him out of Soul Doll. It's going to let him play a hero with Freed, which means he is going to get to discard Happy here. That's unfortunate for Lark. Oh my word. Oh my word. Well, he got Levy. Having Happy discarded there and Fairy Law as well really sucks for Lark. Those are cards that he would very much like to play on Laxus. Especially Fairy Law would be good now, because I think at least 2, if not 3, of those forms are in the discard for Laxus right now, out of his 4. And then he's using Evergreen to throw -1 on Gajeel, and then he's playing Thought Projection for 1, as well as discarding his Well-Laid Plans. And then we're back over to Lark, who is now going to... Oh, is he going to use Kitamaro for an overvanquish here for the -1 on Sasuke? Very smart play, I would say. Kitamaro is only at 1 strength right now, so he's not going to be doing a lot anytime soon. So the Poison Kunai is used in the vanquish, the overkill on Gaara here with Kimimaro, so he can put the -1 on Sasuke, and then he's discarding 2 matching hand signs to move Kimimaro over to the Forest of Death, just super protecting his top fate. He knows that he's going to need that top fate available to him so that he can use it to slow down Laxus even more. We're going to see Lucy and Loki played, which is going to add 2 resolve to Makarov and just fully cover up Falk's territory. Falk is going to go over to Outskirts, and he's going to do the Lightning Body trick. This will allow him to clash with Levi at the end of his turn. He's going to get Tsunade, which is very painful for Lark. He does have a lot of power, so he can kind of power through Tsunade a little bit right now if he really needs to. What is Lark going to do? He's going to go over to the Forest of Death to gain 1. And what are we going to see? He's going to spin 1 to put the Curse Seal on Sasuke. Very good. And then the 4 Violet Barrier, also incredibly good. And then spending 2 on Sword of Kusanagi. That's a -1 on Sasuke, and he gains 1 from Sealed Coffin. He's going to discard White Snake, because he knows he's got a lot more to go on Sasuke. It is worrisome that he doesn't have Kabuto out. We saw him discard Kabuto a little bit ago, so he's got to make sure he can get it back. He is about to hit a reshuffle, though, and he could get body mods as well to help with that. We're going to see Urza come out. He's going to play Urza straight to the Dark Ecriture. No, he's actually going to double stack at Guildhall. Natsu has been holding that top fate down for a long time. Lightning Body will allow... Oh, no, he's actually... Falk is not going to worry about Lightning Bodying to use the top fate. He's going to go straight to Cardia because he wants to gain 2 and play a card there this turn. We're going to see him use Thunder Legion, which is going to trigger Freed, which is going to get missed again. Oh, this discards an ally from your territory and plays that ally for free, so that is going to trigger the reincarnations. So now Lark gets to add Kitamaro and Manda to his hand. Probably going to be looking to get Kitamaro out there for some more protection, and Manda to take care of Tsunade for him. That will play Mystigan to the Outskirts. It's going to put another -1 on Gajeel, so he is down to 3 strength now, so he could use Bixlow on Gajeel here. He has Thought Projection ready to replay whatchamacallit. Yep, he's going to play the Soul Doll using Bixlow here, and then use Bixlow in the Vanquish on Gajeel to get him out of there, open up Cardiac Cathedral, and discard Bixlow. Will he immediately Thought Projection Bixlow back out? Indeed, he will. This is one of Laxus's big combo turns. He's playing a lot of cards. He gets to play Juvia out to Dark Ecriture. He gets to put Shuriken in his discard pile. He gets to replay a Soul Doll over to Outskirts, and he gets to put a -1 on a hero of his choice, and it will be Lucy and Loki. So Lucy and Loki are now in range of being defeated by Evergreen. This is 1, 2, 4, 5. He has just enough heroes if he can defeat Urza, Lucy and Loki, Juvia, and Mystigan to get down to 0 resolve, but we could see Happy get reshuffled and come out potentially to mess with that. Orochimaru is going to go over to Otagakuri, gain 2, spend 1 on the 4 Violet Barrier on Sasuke, and then gain 1 back thanks to Sealed Coffin. And then we're going to see Fairy Law here, way better than Gray, so that will slow down Laxus a little bit. He's got to get himself a form out now to discard, which he might have been holding in hand. Oh, he's playing Biding Time to get the form from his discard pile. Yep, getting himself Dragon Force because he needs to use it to get rid of Fairy Law next turn. He's going to get Lee and Kakashi. That's going to hurt Orochimaru a little bit. Lee is going to cover up that top fate and would require both Kimimaro and Tsuyu to be defeated, which, with that Poison Kunai on Tsuyu, could be pretty worth it for Lark. Is he going to go to the Forest of Death here? He is. What does he have in hand that he's going to use here? He's going to gain 1. His schemes and effects cost an extra 1 thanks to Tsunade right now, so that's going to be rough. But 6 power is enough for Orochimaru to still be able to get 3 cards played through Tsunade's effect. It's just going to cost him more than he would like. And Lark is thinking hard about how he wants to do it. Oh, he has 6 cards in hand. Oh, because he double reincarnationed, right. So he has a lot of allies he can play right now, actually, that Tsunade won't increase the cost of. He's going to spend 2 on Kitamaro and get him out there. Then he's going to spend 2 on Shedskin because it costs 1 more because of Tsunade. And then Forbidden Experiments, which cost 1, to activate to bring Lee down 1. Lee instead of Sasuke? No, he's going to do Sasuke instead. And then spend 1 on Manda? How did... Oh, he got the 1 on Sasuke because he played 3 cards. I understand. I got a little confused there. Okay, and that gave him the 1 from Sealed Coffin he needed for Manda. The Curse Seal proccing is what did that. We're going to see Falk go back to Cardia, play, and immediately discard Dragon Force to get rid of Fairy Law, and then he's going to vanquish Lucy and Loki with Evergreen to get himself down to 3, and then he's going to replay her with Thought Projection. Moving very quickly towards his objective, he's going to put a -1 on Urza with that, so Urza is now in range of being defeated by Bixalo. Is he going to use Freed to play another hero, even though he doesn't technically need one right now? Happy, we have had a reshuffle, so Happy could come out, and if that happens, then one of these heroes won't be a resolve loss, which means Laxus will have to play another hero regardless. So I imagine Falk precautionarily, is that a word, precautionarily? Is just going to activate Freed and get Levy here. And that will be his turn. All right, Orochimaru's got to make some quick progress here. He is going to do the Vanquish on Tsunade with Manda? Yes. And then he activated 4 Violet Barrier to give Sasuke a -1 as well, so he's at 5 now. Mira Jane and We Are Fairy Tail. Probably Mira Jane is going to come out here just to slow Laxus down even more. Indeed, she is. Stop him from being able to play 2 cards. Very strong. Laxus loves being able to play 2 cards. It's how he gets a lot of his big combos going. Laxus is going to go over here and Lightning Dragon Roar at Levy, but then Juvia sacrifices herself in Levy's stead, as Juvia does, which will trigger the Soul Doll. And then all Falk gets to do now is Fate. He's going to get Recovery Mission in Naruto. You probably Recovery Mission here? Yeah. Get one of those -1s off of Sasuke, so he's only at 4 strength now. Got to get 4 more minus on him, and that covers the top Fate very annoyingly, which is going to be rough for Lark, because now he's going to have a lot harder time keeping his Fate pressure up. He really just needs to get a good turn. If he could get Summon Rashomon or some such, I don't know if it's in his discard or what right now, but he really just needs a good big hit on Sasuke's strength here, because he has the Sword of Kusanagi. He's going to move over Jirobo, either planning to move Sasuke next turn, from Konoha potentially, or just when he gets another opportunity to move Jirobo to get Sasuke off that top Fate, or setting himself up for the whatever it is that I'm thinking of, for the Summon Rashomon. Lark is thinking very hard about how he wants to take this turn right now. He's going to body mod, probably searching for something like Summon Rashomon. He's going to play Substitute and then body mod. Oh no, he discarded body mod. He's not playing body mod. And he decided not to move Jirobo. He's just going to put a Curse Seal on Kitamaro instead and give Kitamaro a Poison Kunai to really defend his territory. That'll be a +1 on Kitamaro and a -1 on Sasuke. And is that the end of his turn? That is the end of his turn. He's got to get 3 more strength off of Sasuke pretty quick here, because Laxus is fast approaching his showdown. He does have a substitution jutsu now. That's why he decided not to move Jirobo. He's going to swap Jirobo and Sasuke with substitution, is my guess, to get Sasuke off of that top Fate, which I think is a good play. Falk can't Fate this turn, deciding if he wants to go to Magnolia to gain some power and maybe do something there, or if he wants to go back over to Cardia Cathedral. He will trigger the substitution if he takes a Vanquish, which is what Lark wants. Unless he... No, he could Vanquish Mystigan and it wouldn't trigger. It's 3 or less, right? Yeah. He's going to go to Magnolia and gain 3, not wanting to defeat a 3-strength hero this turn. He's actually going to throw out a Well-Laid Plans, which is when 2 or more cards are discarded. It'll let Falk discard 3 cards from his deck and then take an item from his discard and put it in his hand. Very, very good deck milling for Laxus to get to his good items and get his cards moving a lot more. Orochimaru is going to go over to Odagakuri, gain 2, probably do the 4 Violet Barrier play to get Sasuke to -6. Very plausible that he could get Sasuke down next turn. Happy is great here to make one of these heroes not worth killing. Counter Magic does like nothing. And that's going to go straight to Mira Jane, so defeating Mira Jane will not help Laxus's... whatever it is I'm thinking of. Laxus's, resolve, his objective now, and also putting Mira Jane at 5, very difficult to deal with. We're going to see a Stone Gaze thrown on Mystigan to put him at 0, so this could be a free kill on Mystigan with Freed that will trigger the substitution. Oh, he's actually going to use Freed on Levy, which again will trigger the substitution, so Lark gets to move Sasuke now. And he is going to swap him with Jirobo, as I thought, giving him access to his top Fate, which he desperately needs right now, because he needs to... He's getting very close to his own showdown. He just needs to make sure he can slow down Laxus a little bit more. Oh dear, something has happened to our clock. Uh-oh. That's less than ideal. That's not good. Oh, we're going to do a little rewind time to fix the clock there, because the clock got an accidental click. that did some kind of reset nonsense to it. There you go. We're back. We're back. Yep, he's been moved by substitution. Falk is now moving Thought Projection to replay Freed, which cost him most of his power there. He is going to play a hero. I think he needs to play another hero now because Mirror Jane no longer helps his objective. He got Gajeel, who's 5 strength, which is rough. Oh, how did he kill Mystigan there? Didn't he already do the Vanquish on Levy, or did he do something else to kill Levy there? He killed Levy this turn, didn't he? I'm not sure how he got that kill on Mystigan. Did I miss him doing something else to get the kill on Levy? I thought that he had used Freed. He used Freed in a Vanquish, which defeated Levy. Then he replayed Freed with Thought Projection. So... Oh, he did the, Mystigan had Stone Gaze on him. He just used Evergreen's ability on Mystigan. That's what happened there. My bad. My mistake. I don't know why he moved his Resolve down another one there. Maybe they miscounted earlier, and, maybe that was for Mystigan right there. He just moved it down, Mystigan and Levy. They were probably recounting. And then he used Evergreen's ability on Mystigan. That's my mistake. I'm sorry. My brain stopped for a second there. I was so focused on the fact that Mystigan is a free Vanquish kill that I'm like, why would you do anything other than Vanquish kill him? But using Evergreen's ability makes a lot of sense. We're going to see Lark going over to Forest of Death and just discarding out his hand. So unfortunately not able to get a Curse Seal -1 on Sasuke here. He's going to hit a Fate. We Are Fairy Tail and Counter Magic is unfortunately a pretty weak one. He really wanted to top deck another good hero here. It's very possible that Laxus could get into Showdown. All he has to do is somehow defeat either Urza or Gajeel on his turn. He's going to move Gajeel over to Guildhall to just really hard stack that top Fate and also make it where the allies are fairly out of place. Oh, that is going to trigger Well-Laid Plans, all of Lark's discarding. So Falk will discard up to 3 cards. He chose all 3, and then he gets to add an item to his hand, which is going to be a Stone Gaze, of course, because it's one of Laxus' strongest tools. And then we're over to Falk's turn. He's going to go to the outskirts. He wants to put a little Fate pressure on... He's going to Stone Gaze Gajeel, makes a lot of sense. He wants to put a little Fate pressure on Orochimaru here. Sakura and Naruto, all of Team 7 is here, and they all suck. Sasuke's down to 2 strength. Sakura and Naruto are 2 strength. We're going to see Naruto thrown out at Otagakuri so that he can't go do the bottom Fate Sealed Coffin play easily. If he has White Snake in his hand, which he might, I don't know, I hope it's not in his discard right now. If he has White Snake in his hand and anything like a Killing Intent or whatnot, he can make it work here. Oh, he's going to use the Vanquish with Kitamaro here, even though all it does is move Naruto, because it lets him put a -1 on Sasuke with the Poison Kunai, and then he gets to use 4 Violet Barrier to get Sasuke to 0. So now he just needs to have White Snake. If he has White Snake, he can go there on his turn. He could also use Sword of Kusanagi to kill Naruto here, but then he's out of position for Sasuke, which he probably doesn't want to do. He's going to Fate Lark. We're going to get Levy and We Are Fairy Tail. Once again, a pretty weak We Are Fairy Tail, but Levy could potentially buy Lark another turn of Falk not getting into Showdown, because now Falk has to kill a combination of Levy, Urza, and Gajeel, which he could very well be able to do. It's entirely possible that he could pull it off. He is going to Sword of Kusanagi and immediately get Naruto out of there, even though it puts him out of position. He might not have White Snake in his hand, so he knows he needs a turn to draw White Snake anyway. So this also lets him go back to Otagakuri on his turn, potentially, if he really feels like he needs to. We're going to see Falk go over to Cardia Cathedral, move Freed over, and then Vanquish Levy to gain 2, and then play a card. Can he get to Showdown here? Does he have a card he can play that will get him a defeat on Gajeel, Urza, or... Oh, it's just Gajeel or Urza. No, he's going to put a Stone Gaze on Natsu here. Does not have a way to get into Showdown just yet. So hopefully Lark has... He's probably going to Forest of Death no matter what here. Words, because if he doesn't have White Snake in his hand, he needs to discard for it and hope that it is not that very bottom card. We see Falk tidying up his stuff over here. Or maybe that was Weird Mouse tidying it up. I didn't even notice. Tidying up his stuff to make it look nice. Gajeel and Natsu both Stone Gaze together. What bros? What bros? We're going to see a Killing Intent discarded. There goes the Substitution Jutsu. He's going to spin 2 to throw down Sakon and Ukon, and then play Forbidden Experiments to gain 1. So he did not have the White Snake in hand. I don't know if it's in his discard or those last 5 cards. If it's in his discard, he might not be able to win faster than Falk can win here. So I hope that it is in those 5 cards, and I also hope it's not the bottom card, because it's going to be really rough for Lark otherwise. That will get Makarov's Resolve back up to 2. Once again, Lark doing his best to just barely deny Falk from getting into Showdown. Falk's going to go to Outskirts, just throw out a Soul Doll, and then Fate. Doesn't have much else he can do right now. Recovery Mission really hurts. Oh, he's going to play Dead Demon Consuming, actually, to force Lark to only be able to play... Okay, so he's making it where Lark, he can't get rid of Dead Demon this turn, so he can only play Snake this turn. No, wait, that's game, then. Oh, yeah, that's game, because he had White Snake. That is Showdown and victory for Lark. Probably should have gone for the Recovery Mission, but probably knew that it would only buy him a turn or wouldn't be able to give him the win anyway. He has a lot of heroes he has to deal with, even if he gets into Showdown. So I imagine Falk was just like, you know what? I probably have to bet on him having not drawn it in the first place or something similar. Wasn't a whole lot that he could do to be able to win faster than Orochi there, unless he got some really lucky Fate plays. Probably he was really wanting a hero there more so than Recovery or Dead Demon. But that will be game, and that will be 2 victories for Lark and only 1 for Falk. Some amazing games from both players, great stuff. And so we will get to see Lark move on to the Final 4. Speaking of the Final 4, let's take a look at the bracket to see our 4 remaining competitors. We have in the top bracket Wako and Azure Horizon, while in the bottom bracket we have Lark and Butter King. Some stiff competition coming up in our semifinals, which we'll be seeing games for very soon. Look forward to watching the conclusion of the tournament arc once it arrives, and until then, farewell.